Other people featuring on the album, do you want to drop a few names there, Mike?
Steve Earle sings the opening track. It was a co-write, and the original idea was that I would sing it, but his demo was so great that we asked him to do it.
Yes.
Bruce Springsteen does a voiceover on one song. Fiona Apple sings a song. Taylor Goldsmith from the American band Dawes, he actually sings the co-lead vocal on the song we've just sung. Barney sang it today, but Taylor Goldsmith sings it on the record.
Great. What a lovely gathering of I get the sense it's like a real collective, a lovely, reflective, thoughtful, soulful album and gathering of the tribe.
I hope people think of it like that.
Virgin Radio.
The band took the 80s music world by storm and continue to keep storming it. They're back with their 16th album. It's called, love the title, love some of the songs that I have the pleasure to have heard. Life, Death and Dennis Hopper. We'll talk all about this in a second. They're here to play a few tracks live for us. Welcome Mike Scott, James Halliwell, and I should have to mention, of course, Barney Fletcher joining in for the day. Welcome, lads. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you all. This is a terrific title for the album, and Mike, Dennis Hopper is something that you've been interested, or someone you've been interested in for a long time.
Yeah,
is that
he's
right?
a very fascinating character. Yes.
And tell us about him. What?
Well, most people know him as the actor in Easy Rider and Apocalypse Now.
Blue
but
Velvet.
he was a fascinating man. He was a great photographer, and he was present at so many crucial moments in popular culture. He was starred in Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. He was a friend of the young Andy Warhol. He was all these very formative moments in culture, and usually as an influencer.
Yeah.
You know what? I suppose they call him influencers.
Yeah.
He was a real influencer. He really had an effect on things, and his story is wonderful. It's tragic and it's beautiful and it's redemptive. And I got interested in him about 10 years ago, and I wrote one song about him, and then that turned into one thing led to another, and suddenly it became an album of his life story.
Isn't it brilliant that you had the kernel of this idea of an interest?
Yes.
And it just developed into a whole thing. You couldn't just keep it to one. You had to write many songs.
I had to, yes.
There's too
no
much
choice.
in you.
No choice.
Well, sometimes I think that must happen for an artist, where you just go, it's an abundance of thought and ideas and words and music.
Yeah. And his life was so colourful that I could just pick and choose, well, how about a song about what he was doing at this point in history, at this point? And they just all they flowed from that.
So he was this Zelig-like figure who would appear in a movie or a photo or a moment in history or politics, and he was always there. And it was that sort of ephemeral, if you like, movement through time and decades. Is that what was attractive?
Yes, he'd be there at the Civil Rights Marches photographing Martin Luther King. He took the photo for an Ike and Tina Turner album cover. He was there at the Sunset Strip riots in the 60s. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see why you would be absolutely intrigued.
Yes.
Why don't we take some music and we'll have a longer chat in a moment. What are you going to sing for us? Why don't you put it into context for us and then you're off?
Yeah, we're going to play a song from the album. It's called I Don't Know How I Made It, and it's something that Dennis actually said in an interview. He was talking about his lost years, his wasted years when he was addicted to drink and he was taking a lot of drugs. Yeah. And somehow he didn't die, and he said in an interview, I don't know how I made it.
Wow.
And I loved that, and I put it in a song.
I don't know. That line will resonate for a lot of people today, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Yeah, okay, let's go. The Waterboys, you're off.
But I'm here.
That's lovely. That is lovely. Well done. The Waterboys live. Mike looking around go, where did the crowd come from?
Where did they come from?
They're called Rent a Crowd. We bring them in every now and again, but sometimes we don't pay them. That's why they're so happy today, because they're just happy with the quality of the music. What? It's as if I did a deal with an angel. What a lovely line that is.
Thank
you. Was that yours or his?
That was mine.
Your own. You offered that to the Dennis Hopper School.
I co-wrote with Dennis Hopper.
You
wrote one line, I wrote the other.
It's beautiful. What a beautiful song. You're in fine voice, Mike. It's lovely to hear that.
Thank you, Ryan.
Honest to goodness, I really mean that. James, how are you feeling about hitting the road again? Your big tour coming up?
Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing with this lineup.
Yeah. What is it about this lineup that has you so happy?
Well, we're doing the Hopper show in the middle of the show, and we've got some great support acts who are all amazing singers, so they're going to come and join us, and there's going to be a kind of old style like Nashville, all gathered around one microphone,
fab,
singing these harmonies with us, which there's a lot on the record. Barney's on the record, obviously he's featured. So it's going to be amazing. Big old Crosby, Stills, Nash vibe.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Barney, how did you get involved in this carry on? I mean, you're a young man.
It was a while ago, actually. Mike actually heard one of my early mixtapes I put out, which was actually rap music.
Yeah. Okay.
Psychedelic hip hop.
I love it. I love it. You were perfect for the Waterboys.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there was just a bit. This was actually during COVID, and there was just a bit of back and forth over emails, and yeah, it just ended up. I started off helping on just putting some backing vocals on one of the tracks, and one turned to two, two turned to four, and so on. And then I think there's about I'm on a bunch of them. And I'm joining the guys on tour, so I've got the pleasure of that.
What a nice thing to do.
I've never been on a proper tour before, so for me it's all brand new.
It's
so,
great.
That's going to be good.
You're wearing a really funky jacket earlier on, and I was saying, where'd you get that? You said it was your dad's.
Yeah, it's my dad's. Yeah,
So
he's got a bunch of cool stuff. So
your dad's obviously a bit of a rock and roller too.
He's into his guitars.
I like that
and
too.
stuff.
Yes, you're a young man, so you have to steal your parents' clothes,
Exactly.
and these are the needs must. Other people featuring on the album. Do you want to drop a few names there, Mike?
Steve Earle sings the opening track. It was a co-write, and the original idea was that I would sing it, but his demo was so great that we asked him to do it.
Yes.
Bruce Springsteen does a voiceover on one song. Fiona Apple sings a song. Taylor Goldsmith from the American band Dawes.
Yeah.
He actually sings the co-lead vocal on the song we've just sung. Barney sang it today, but Taylor Goldsmith sings it on the record.
Great. What a lovely gathering of the. I get the sense it's like a real collective, a lovely, reflective, thoughtful, soulful album and gathering of the tribe.
I hope people think of it like that. Yes,
Mike,
Ryan,
I saw you on a plane the other day when I was flying home from London to Dublin, and I saw you in the car. I said, I'm not going to disturb that man because you had your nose in a book the way I love to see a human with their nose in a book. and I was looking, I was angling my neck like going, what's he reading? I'm trying to get the spine. I said, what's he reading down there? But you were really, I don't know what it was. It was real hardback. It was probably a second-hand book. Are you a bit of a book reader?
I'm a big book reader. It's probably about 7 or 8 books ago by now. I've no idea what it was.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Are you reading anything good at the moment?
I've just finished a book called Precipice by Robert Harris.
Oh, I love
thriller.
The Asquith.
Yes, did you read that as well?
Of course I did. This is a mad story about the Prime Minister who gave away all these state secrets because he was trying to impress a girl.
Yeah, it was his girlfriend.
His girlfriend, mad story.
Yeah.
Anyway, love a bit of Robert Harris. Did you read his Cicero trilogy, the Robert Harris? Oh,
no.
Treat yourself. If you're going on tour, go for it, okay? 3 books, you're welcome. Okay, now, Fisherman's Blues, we want to take that track in a moment, but will you take our friends from, particularly the UK and anyone in Ireland who has never been to Spiddal in Connemara, my favourite part of the world in the west of Ireland, and give us a brief description? Can we smell the sea, Mike? Or if you want to mention it, James, everyone join in. What are we dealing with, this mystical, beautiful land?
Well, everybody's heard of Galway, the town halfway up the west coast of Ireland, at the bridge between the old world and the new. And just a few miles north of Galway is Spiddal. Yeah. And it's a village. It's in the Gaelic-speaking area, known in Ireland as the Gaeltacht. And it's, I suppose, a fishing village, but it's also a cultural centre with poets and musicians. And the Waterboys went there in 1988, and we recorded about half of the Fisherman's Blues album there, and then all of the next album, Room to Roam. And it became kind of a spiritual home for us. Yeah. We were playing a gig in Galway last summer, and I took the current lineup, none of whom were in the band at that time, to see Spiddal and initiate them into the wonders of that part of the world.
Yeah. And your pub, where all the sessions happen.
Yeah, we were in Hughesy's bar. Where the stone-floored bar where we used to play sessions.
It's like a museum now, isn't it? It's just...
Unfortunately, not functioning as a bar. I wish someone would reopen it.
Well, I know a few people. Let me leave that with me. By the next time you get to
Good
Spiddal,
man,
we get Hughes Bar up. All right, the Waterboys at the top of the tower, live and in glorious Technicolor, in your own time, lads.
Thank you.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
There's that crowd again. Where did they come from?
I wish they were canned. Just put them in a can and go. My heart is about to leap out of my chest with excitement and joy because very, very rarely do I see somebody perform as a hit that's one of their classics, as though they were performing for the first time. That's how good you guys are.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Passion, the love. On the pair of you, that was just a beautiful thing that you just did there. So thank you for sharing it with us. It's great. You have so many fans that listen to this show, and so many fans in Ireland and the UK. They're all going to want to see it. I mean, if only they could see it. We were filming this, so we'll put it out there. But the passion of that. I mean, I want to go and see your gig tomorrow night.
If only they could come and see us play live.
Well, now that you mentioned it, Mike, I have some details here. If anyone wants to go and see the Waterboys, you can follow them online to get all the details for their tickets, because you're doing a massive, massive tour. 28 date around the UK and Ireland through May and June, starting in Basingstoke on the 1st of May.
The rock and roll capital
of the world. And then you're in Bath and Brighton, and and anywhere else beginning with B, but then on to Cornwall. Is it alphabetically? And then Dublin. Actually, this is travelling alphabetically on the 7th of June in the 3 Arena, where you'll get a great welcome. So it's MikeScottWaterboys.com for all the details. Right. And the album, Life, Death and Dennis Hopper, out Friday, April 4th. You are not taking things lying down. I like your style. It's great. And the way you played those keys. Honestly, it was a privilege to be with you today. Okay, good luck with everything. Remember the book recommendation.
Yes,
Don't be bored.
you,
you know the score. It's been lovely having the three of you here today. Thank you for being with us. Mike Scott, James Halliwell, Barney Fletcher. Travel well, and we'll see you another time. You're always welcome.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, man.
Virgin Radio.